All right, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, if this your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit that doggone, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Every time I post up new content, like I said, people, we trying to get this up and running. Trying to work out all of the kinks right now. So just bear with us, right? Because we got some uh, we got some good stuff that we got some good stuff we trying to put out here, and there he is. There he is, right there.
Just when you thought you could shut it down, think again, motherfuckers.
All right, now we are open. We are up and running. So what's good, y'all?
Here we
Uh,
are.
got my guest here, old army buddy. This guy, he's been everywhere possible. He done been on Alex Jones. He been letting motherfuckers have it, shit, since the day he was born. So hey, look, without further ado, my man, Zachary Lee Kawan. Go ahead and tell the people about yourself right fast.
So, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Curtis Harris, Apollos Harris on here. Um, let's get one thing straight. This is one of the greatest leaders I've ever been around. I'm a young man. I'm 32 years of age. Been around, been in the United States military. Um, but this individual with this leadership has been impeccable. We could get into it. We will get into it, actually. But a little bit background about myself: just United States military, 18 years old, out of Tampa, Florida, by way of McNair, Morocco. Um, to be humble, did some things in mainstream media that furthered the cause of Islamic rights and Arab rights within the culture, and that would not have been possible due to racism systematically within the United States military without leadership within the backbone uh, of the country. And that leadership happened to be Curtis Harris, Apollos Harris, and anyone could Google it. I'm sure we'll get into it as things go on, but it was pretty prevalent. It was pretty sensational. It's hard for me, even today, a decade away from it, to I guess wrap my finger around it. But let's get one thing straight: we saw a problem, we fixed the problem. Um, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan would have been proud. The founding fathers would have been proud. Quite frankly, if everyone knew the context, every American would be proud. And we did that. We did it on the Korean Peninsula. We'll get into it, but that doesn't highlight my military career, but it certainly is a highlight. Um, I was a Patriot missile operator, and that's what I joined to do. That's what I intended on doing. I didn't join thinking that I'm going to have like some civil rights moment, but like most things in life, you never know when something's going to hit you in the head. So that's who I am, and we got it done, and I'm incredibly proud of it. I'm incredibly proud of the momentum it caused, and here we are today.
Okay. But, um, but just like I said, this is gonna be like the first show of many. This is something that we've actually like really been. We've always talked about it, but we actually like really it never was able to surface. But sometimes, I've always said technology is a motherfucker. And be it can either be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on who's actually
Right.
who invented it or whatever the case may be. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna sit up here. We gonna shoot the shit for a little bit. We're gonna talk about some stuff that's actually really been going on out there. Um, Matter of fact, hell, the latest and greatest, the shootings down, the shootings that happened up there in Buffalo, the shooting that happened down here in Texas. Hell, we might even take it back as far as like 9/11. It never, when we get together, when we get on the phone and we talking, and this is for the most part, this is what we always talk about. You know, as far as like, things going on in the world, whether it's here in the United States or it's across that water. So,
Yeah.
so hey, it is what it is. So, I
It
mean,
it,
like
it
talked about,
all it, it all sort of ties in together, right?
huh?
It all sort of ties in together in
Oh
some
yeah,
weird way. Everything ties in together, and it's like I like what you're saying because it can go back to 9/11 because we have such a I don't know what we're calling this. We'll call it from the hip for now until
right
we
now,
figure out an actual name. But from the hip, I like that. Pull that thing out.
yeah,
So it's like it's interesting because we have such a short attention span. And I
yeah,
like what you said. We may go back to 9/11. People completely forgot about that shit.
yeah. I mean, granted fact, it be coming up here. What is this? 21st, the 21st year. Since that happened. Uh, like I said, depending on who you talk to, right? It's it's either people gonna act like say, okay, yeah, it went down. A lot of people will say it's an inside job. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, right? But anybody got any type of sense will know that how those buildings came down. That was a controlled demolition, right? And it's just for the simple fact, what person did you know that's gonna hijack a plane and fly into a building, you know? And so, but then here it is. You fast forward some 20+ years later, especially with the latest and greatest that happened up there in Buffalo, right? And I said it in previous shows. Now, if those 10 people actually really died, then my condolences actually really goes out to the family. But I'm just looking at the simple fact, okay, what 18-year-old that you know of right today that's gonna sit down and write either a 180-page manifesto or 589-page manifesto and then drive 200 miles just to go kill somebody? I mean, you 18
And
years
then
old, 9 times you have a job, you ain't
uh,
got
uh,
no job, and then
what
with
what
the prices of gas like it is, that's next to impossible almost. But that just me talking.
what and what Harris is saying is completely accurate because this is what baffles me. And for the folks out there, I know how to eat the cabbage at the Fort Hood shooting. And you look into it, CID, ATF, FBI already tracking it, and it's like not that they want it to happen, but they're sort of facilitating it. So if we
Yeah.
correlate what happened at the school shooting down in Texas, how the fuck is ATF and FBI on the ground stopping parents from going in? You need to wrap your head around that, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. You need to. They're on the
So,
ground within 13, 12 minutes. Really? In a little suburban town, out, a border town. Really? That's interesting. And you're fucking tasing dads and moms who are like trying to get the fuck in there and save their kids. That's bullshit. Uh,
oh yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but why wouldn't you look into that? Because to me, I've seen a pattern in these things. Oh, Zach, so you're saying this is a false flag? Nobody got killed. No, let's get one thing straight. Kids got killed, and it's horrifying. Uh, what I do is I say, what was the reaction time? What was the SOP? What occurred here? That's concerning to me. It's
Yeah.
fucked up. And
So
if nobody wants to talk about it,
yeah, it is.
they're like, oh, so you
I
don't
mean,
care about kids, you're pro gun. It's like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
so yeah. So I mean, he right. I just like I always go back to the years that me and you both were in, And it was almost like, okay, if whatever task that needed to be done, right, everything was detailed out or whatever. It was like, okay, hey, this is what you gonna do, this is what you gonna do, and this is what you gonna do, right? So hold on, we got a uh, we just got a comment. It said too many of
Too
these
many of these
shootings don't
shootings.
add up to the news story. Yeah. So I'm in agreement. He apparently
I
he's in
agree.
agreement. Yeah. So it's just
It's
like,
fucking weird, isn't it?
and yeah, it just, it's like the questions that I asked previously. I'm like, okay, if a semi-automatic rifles, assault rifles, you want to call them, this has like been an issue for as long as I can remember, right? And then, like I said, every time a mass shooting happens, you got your press conference, and then there's always that initial push to get the semi-automatic weapons off the streets, right? And then a month may go by or 2 months may go by, and then you don't hear shit else about it until the next mass shooting comes, and then here they come again. And but then again, also look like this. Okay, let's just say that they did get this stuff off the streets. Then you got the black market that you got to worry about, because I mean, as long as
Exactly.
like this,
Exactly.
as long as these weapons get manufactured, it's somebody always gonna be able to get their hands on, right? So uh, it's almost like the tobacco business. Almost,
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm
it's
gonna tell you right now. You better keep that fucking thing on you because these people are out of control. Society's out of control, and there's a few knuckleheads that probably represent around, I don't know, probably 2% of the population, and that's not including cartels, gangs, illegal, blah blah blah. Also, you're not pro-immigration. Shut the fuck up. Let's be realistic.
yeah,
It's about 2%. You got to keep that fucking thing on you. You got to protect yourself. In most suburbs, people are protecting themselves, and it's terrifying. You see the looting, you see this, you see that. Oh, so you're anti-black, you're anti-immigrant. It's like shut the fuck up. You cannot smash a window in and steal things. You
yeah.
can't. I
So
hate to tell you that. So you're pro police? Yeah, let's get that straight. I am pro police. Not fucking crooked cops, not bullshit cops, but you want law and order in your neighborhood. If you have kids, if you have grandkids, come on, man. Like this is not a question. We're living in a first world country, apparently or supposedly, depending on where you live. And it's like there's a lot of changes that need to be made. There's a lot of young kids in these fucked up neighborhoods that it should change. The idea that it's like cool or culture, it's bullshit. That's a continuation of slavery. We got David coming in.
yeah,
What is it, Kurt?
yeah. He said do the same thing with multiple round clips with multiple hands. That would be the next if we give to the assault rifles. Yeah,
But here's
and
the thing,
again,
David. David, something has to be done. David, something has to be done. But here's the thing: the legislation and everything that's already in place exists. So the individuals who are using these things, I understand the individual was 18 with no criminal record who did this. We probably should vet that and understand what's going on. But for the vast majority of gangbangers, thugs, pieces of shit that are out there actually utilizing the weapon systems, those serial numbers are scratched off. They're not playing by the same rule. There's already piss in the pool, team. So it's like, what do? Acquiesce to them? No. You vet them out. How do you do that? You feed them out of the system. You actually utilize the law, not have no bail, not have no bullshit. You get them the fuck out of the community. I know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be hard. But the answer to let them like tic tac gun laws on gun abiding citizens, law abiding citizens, that's not the move because they're going to end up getting robbed, pistol whipped, fucked up, world starved, all this shit. Because these individuals that we're talking about aren't abiding what you're saying. I agree, hypothetically, like with what you're saying, but in practice, on the real ground, listen, I got guys who I served with who are law enforcement officers now. Good luck with that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
You
because
got to bring the
even
you got to
like,
bring you
like
got
I
to
said,
bring the fight to them and
yeah,
actually prosecute them. You need to get better DAs. You got to prosecute these motherfuckers.
yeah. So again, but like I said, David, yeah, but like I said, you can possibly do that with any gun that's out there, right? But then again, you also got to look at it like this. Just like say, whether it, you have mass shootings, this has been going on for quite some time, and then when they say, okay,
Hold on,
this
let's see what he says here.
this is fun. So basically, said you're right. Also, security in school should be better.
Oh,
Remove mass
exactly,
application.
exactly, David.
Yeah,
I fucking agree with you 100%. 40 billion for fucking Ukraine, and how about downtown Chicago? How about in the fucking projects? How about your fellow Americans? I agree with you. That's fucking bullshit. You know how much 40 million, or excuse me, 40 billion with a B could do in America? I'm with you. I agree with you. That's fucking bullshit. You imagine
yeah.
what 40
So
fucking billion could do in projects and fucking all across America? Shame on us. David, I agree with you. I don't know who David is, but
yeah,
I agree with him.
I mean, but like I say, but even with all of the even with all of the so-called background checks that they got out there now, or whatever, it's almost like it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna work their way around that. I mean, you almost have to treat this whole gun issue the same way that you treat alcohol. Just like say, that you're
Yep.
underage, know that you're underage, you can't go in the liquor store and buy that shit, but you'll get somebody that's underage. They go get you some alcohol, or they'll buy the alcohol for you, and then they pass it off to you, right? So
Yeah.
it's too big of a
Especially there's
business.
gangs that are they're gangs that are prevalent. I mean, nobody wants to say it, but there's 16-year-old boys, 16, 15-year-old boys pulling that fucking pistol out. That that is so. And daddy's in prison. It's like it's heartbreaking to me. They're
Yeah,
like, oh, so you hate them? No, I want to help them. That's fucked up. I don't give a fuck if you don't recognize them or you don't, want to be around them. Those are little boys. It's fucked
yeah.
up
But
to me.
but you know
But
what?
nobody has the courage to fucking fix it.
Yeah, but you know what though? It almost go back to what you said back, and then I'm gonna go back. But uh, put like this: you can. It has to be more people involved, just the police, right? You know, this is your neighborhood or whatever. You know more what's going on in your neighborhood, regardless of the state that you're from. You know more what's going on in your neighborhood than the police do, right? But it's just like what you said. It's a lot of motherfuckers are scared. They don't want to do shit. They don't want to get involved, right? But it's going it's going to take more than just the police to put in a lot of this stuff, right? And then it's like what I always say, right? The motherfuckers that's in charge, they know this. They know the exact same thing that we know, right? They already know that the average person is not gonna do shit. So for the most part, it's like a green light. The powers they need and people that they got working for them, right? So
Yeah.
it'll be too easy. It'll be too so guess what? So it's too easy for an 18-year-old that 9 times out of 10 ain't got no money in his pocket to drive 200 miles to go kill somebody. Which and for all intents purposes, hell, you probably could have did the exact same shit in your own hometown. Just like say, there's always a convenience store on every corner, right? Just like say you have 200 miles here. You're good at it. You probably could have traveled less than two.
It's too convenient. It's too convenient.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going? It's almost like what did Harry? I think it was Harry Kissinger. No. Brzezinski. He said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." And as I mature, as I get older, I go, the left, they almost applaud this. They love this. This is content. This is something nice. Something good. No, it's not good. Those are dead kids, man. That's fucked up to me. Those are dead kids.
Yeah.
But they look at it as like they punt a political football.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like me growing up as a kid in Little Rock, Arkansas.
You can tell they're cheering it on the left. By the way, they were like, "Oh, it's like I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so." And you could even see Beto. What's his name? Beto O'Rourke getting in the fucking governor's face at the fucking auditorium in Texas. So day of, you're trying to bring peace. You're trying to get this shit figured out. And you're like talking shit politically. That tells me like you don't. Number one, you don't give a fuck. Number two, what the fuck are you doing? And number three, I would have jumped over that fucking table and grabbed that motherfucker. And everyone knows it.
Yeah. So two things. Right? So like what I was trying to say earlier. Me growing up as a kid in Little Rock, Arkansas. My dad. Had several guns. He had pistols and shotguns, right?
Yeah.
And I knew not to bother with any of that shit. Because for one, I didn't know how to use it, right? And then if I ever actually really got caught bothering with any of his guns, whether it was handheld or or rifle, hell, look,
would have been hell on earth.
So but you know what?
Yeah.
I think what happened is that you get a lot of people. They really believe in that Second Amendment, and which for the most part I ain't got no problem with. But the first time, because I was on Facebook the other day, right, and this guy he got his looked like she couldn't be no more like about 6 or 7, right? She out there shooting her father's handgun. And I'm just, okay,
that's not a good idea.
Why you let your child shoot a handgun with no ear protection?
I wouldn't even give him a hammer. I want to give him a hammer. Yeah. I want to give him a hammer. It's like, so Zach, you're not. So you're from the fucking left. No, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm telling you, I would not give a young child a fucking hammer. They're gonna bash their fucking thumb in. That's what they want.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, put like this: it's all right to exercise the Second Amendment. I have no problem.
You can't even buy a beer. You can't even buy a beer, but you could buy an AR-15.
Okay.
What's David saying here?
Communism, use propaganda. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like they're allowing it to happen. So you say, "Oh, Zach, you're a denier. You think the shooting didn't happen." Ladies and gentlemen, the shooting fucking happened. But politically, never let a good crisis go to waste. That's their playbook. As David has referenced, that's what's going on. It's like, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kurt.
No, I was just going because uh, basically, David has watched some of the same documentaries that you and I have watched, like with the whole, what was that? It's been years ago, like with 9/11, the greatest lie
Zeitgeist,
ever told, and right, and then
Zeitgeist.
the that one, and then the Obama deception. It's almost like this guy's
Oh yeah,
main page is being
the
used.
Alex Jones one. Yeah, Alex Jones one.
So it's almost like
Yep.
this doesn't seem like we're all on the same, you know. So, but I, I and I kind of got away from it. But hey, listen, just like I said, this was just a test run. This was just a test run, right? I got a quick errand that I got to run. It's probably not going to take me no more than about 5 minutes, you know. But so here's the deal. We know that we can do this now. We can do this now. We done worked out all of the kinks or what have you.
And people don't
And
know
then
people don't
we got
know our
people, and then
affiliation. Our
yeah, yeah, we got people that's
Can you hear me?
commenting on. So yeah, so just like I say, uh, that like I say, I'll be right back. If you want to continue this once I get back, hey, by all means, let's do so. And David, if you want to
You
come
think
back,
you think
you come back, and
how
then
about this?
invite your friend.
How about in 10 minutes we keep it going?
Okay, then, yeah, 10 minutes. So we do this little intermission, and then we'll get back on the ball.
And just for the viewing audience, this is a test run. This is what's going on. In the future, this is going to be run out of InfoWars Studio, Alex Jones, highly affiliated. Everyone knows that. And I like this platform, though. I'll be honest. I like this
Yeah,
platform. I don't know how many people
yeah,
are on it, but the interface is pretty nice. So, anyhow, let's let you do your errand,
yeah,
and then let's say 15 minutes. So 3:15. Well, that's my
yeah.
time. What are you in Central Time? 2:15.
Yeah. I tell you what, Zach, you hit me when you ready to go again, and then we'll get back on this. All
What do
right.
you think? How much time?
Oh, we can continue. We can continue this, or we can like talk about something else totally completely different. It don't matter.
You said you need
So
like 5 minutes.
because right now this, yeah, I got. It's gonna take me. Once I go pick it up and bring it back, then I'm. We can jump back on. Not too long after that.
Let's do 3:20. Make it easy.
So it's 2 o'clock.
20 minutes from
It's two
now.
o'clock my time now. 20 minutes.
So
Yeah, that'd be
2:20,
good.
14:20,
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good.
14:20 will be
So
straight.
yeah,
Just
yeah, 2:20,
I
and
don't know how
I
this
can back.
works,
Yeah, we can have everything set
so
up, and then we'll
I'm gonna
get back at
exit.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
exit out and
you
just send me the link, and then bam.
yeah, you can just exit out because I'm gonna end
And
it
we'll
anyway.
do we'll do a half hour, and we'll shut it off.
Okay then. All right, man. Just like I say, 20 minutes from now
I
we'll
think
be
it's
back on.
pretty good. I think it's a pretty good test run. Not bad.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let me go do this
All
right
right,
fast,
sir.
and then we'll get back on it.
All right.
All right now. Yep.
Peace. Thank you, David, for your support.